Hello, happy Saturday, happy May 2nd. Let me tell you how ridiculous YouTube is. So, YouTube, offensive, hateful, and they are discriminatory for, who knows what reason, okay? They have a bias, they have an agenda. We know this. We know this based on a lot of things, especially a lot of things recently of what they're doing to videos and removing them. But specifically, I wanted to talk about, with me, what they've done. And again, I don't mind that part of this took place. It's just what they're labeling it as, which is a problem. So first of all, I had a video that I uploaded to my Automacedo channel, which was what is abuse and why is it subjective? Okay, I don't go into detail about specifically, intense abuse. I don't talk about real scenarios. I talk about hypothetical scenarios, pretty minor stuff. But it's an educational thing, saying why is trauma subjective, okay? Saying two people who go through the same event will have different outcomes. Or someone could be traumatized by a little tiny thing, but someone else could not be by something major. Okay, so that's pretty much what I get at in the video. And of course it was marked not suitable for most advertisers, which honestly, that is to be expected because I have abuse and that sort of stuff in there. So I reach out to them. Actually no, let me tell you. So after that, I request manual review of it because the new YouTube monetization system, when you go to the monetization page, it's off by default now. You have to tick it on, and then you go to the next page and it has a list of all these things where you have to categorize your video. It's absolutely annoying because you have, violence and arms, controversial topics, just a bunch of different things, and I'm looking through it, I'm like, my video doesn't really fit with any of these, so I don't know what to categorize it as, so I just did none, because obviously it would probably fit under maybe one of those, possibly, but as I was reading it, I'm like, these are all extreme things. Like there's one that says like promoting hate speech, one that makes fun of a minority group, and it's like, all that stuff, I'm like, none of these apply to my video at all. So I hit none. Ooh. Then the YouTube, someone actually reviews it because I request for review. Let me show you. I took a screenshot of what came back as. Let me show you this. This is absolutely disgusting. So here we go. Sensitive issues, recent events dealing with war, death, or tragedy. And I selected none. Look what YouTube selected. Discussions of modern acts of terror, events resulting in a catastrophic loss of life, human life, or controversial social issues. Are you serious? So YouTube is pretty much saying my video promotes terror, loss of life, and is controversial. Educational material is none of those things. I understand it if I'm showing war scenes and talking about war stuff. That seems to be like more event. It says recent events dealing with war, death, or tragedy. It's not a recent event. Not dealing with war, not dealing with death, tragedy. Maybe slightly if you can, a tragic thing that's happening, but it's nothing recent. None of that applies at all. And that's what they marked it as. So I reached out to them because I was like, this isn't right. This is absolutely messed up. So I reach out to them, saying, what is the situation here? And it says, let's say, upon review, I can see that you have already appealed the decision, which is what I did. Let me now forward your video issue to your internal team for a re-review and expect to hear back within a couple days. I'll get back to you with an update. So I'm like, okay, that's good. So I hear back, and they say, our internal team has responded. Due to the nature of your video or video metadata, including your video title, thumbnail, or tags, we found that your content does not align with the advertiser-friendly content guidelines and may not be suitable for all brands. Again, that I am okay with because we're talking about trauma and abuse. That makes sense, okay? Because of this, your video will remain with the yellow icon. Okay, that's fine. That's not what I'm worried about. And then he goes on to say, specifically, your video was found to contain harmful and dangerous acts. Harmful, think about that, harmful and dangerous acts. How is a positive message about, why is trauma subjective and no one should invalidate your trauma? How is that harmful and dangerous? So I even said that to him. I said, can you be specific? I've looked at your guidelines and there is nothing that relates to my video that aligns with your team's opinion that my video contains harmful and dangerous acts. Perhaps if you actually watch the video, you would see it's quite the opposite. A positive message is not harmful or dangerous, but rather encouraging and helpful. Please explain the reasoning. Thanks for your response. We can't provide you specifics. That's another word for you've not done anything wrong, but we can't provide that to you because then we have a lawsuit in our hands. That's what that means. You have to review your own content as you know it best. Then align it with our guidelines. It may be on the video or on your video's metadata. So I strongly suggest that you look at it carefully and align it with our advertiser-friendly guidelines. I looked at it, and as I said, I understand that it may not be advertiser-friendly. The problem that I have is what they categorize it as. It is not, terror, catastrophic loss of life. It's none of that. And that's just absolutely messed up. So I reply back, and I haven't heard back yet, but I expect it to be the same response if I get a response, because these people, they're so biased and so arrogant that they don't even want to actually answer anything correctly. I have looked at it carefully. My content is not harmful or dangerous, so how can I classify it? If the person marked it as acts of terror, catastrophic loss of life, controversial social issues, how am I supposed to know my video falls under that when there is zero statements in YouTube guidelines that say, if your video is educational, it's considered harmful and dangerous, which my video is. The policies are unclear, so my response of none is valid because according to what I've read, my video doesn't do anything that employees have deemed. The fact that you cannot provide specific speaks volumes because, and I think you know this, that there is no reason to mark my content as such. The people who reviewed it are biased and possibly discriminating against me and my content, which is unacceptable in the professional world and your business. Can you please provide me with specifics of what exactly I said or what keywords triggered this action so I can avoid in the future? How am I supposed to learn if there is nothing I've violated now and you won't give me an appropriate reason? Exactly. How am I supposed to learn if you can't give people an appropriate reason? If you're sitting here telling someone that their video about how to, be positive with any sort of trauma that someone's went through, and you're classifying that as acts of terror and war and tragedy and death, how are you people supposed to get the idea? It's like, I have this positive message that I'm putting it out. I'm not looking at people dying from that. I'm looking at people being helped and saved from that. That's the opposite of what this says. So how am I supposed to classify my content as terror and death and all of that when that's not the message of my video? That's not the message. That's pretty much saying YouTube is like, this is what you're promoting in this video. And that's not what I'm doing. So that's just absolutely messed up. YouTube should be ashamed of themselves. Again, I don't care if it's not monetized. It's what they labeled it as. That's the problem here. And they should be absolutely ashamed of themselves because they are discriminating and they are promoting this crazy agenda that is just, I just don't even know. What can you say? What can you say on YouTube now and not be labeled as hate speech? I feel as though that's kind of what they did there. It's like, well, you didn't discuss it the right way, so hate speech, hate speech, hate speech. I don't know. But they are incredibly biased. I just don't understand them. So, I don't expect any sort of normal reply back from this person. Like, we can't provide you with any specifics. That's probably going to be it. If I hear a reply back at all, I don't know. But anyway, that's going to be it. Let me know your thoughts. It's just crazy. Oh, it's crazy. So, you take care now. Bye.